On air from Nashville, it's me, Ruth Rosen.
And on air from Seattle, it's me, Tim Tackett. In today's episode, we wrap up our Courage series. We're going to sit down with artist, writer, TikTok creator, Racinda Janine. She's going to deliver a powerful conversation about adoption, identity, trauma, healing, and living positively. Racinda shares her journey from an orphanage in Lebanon through a painful and abusive adoption experience, and how therapy, curiosity, creativity, spiritual intuition, and a deep belief in human connection helped her keep moving forward. She reflects on living with PTSD, learning not to let others define her work, choosing greatness over bitterness, and finding courage not in one dramatic breakthrough, but in the daily decision to keep going. Ruthie, I am pumped. Racinda is a friend of our mom.
I bet you. Mom is already anticipating when this episode is going to be aired.
She told me yesterday when we talked, she's just like, when is it going to air? I'm so excited you guys are sitting down with Racinda. And Racinda has something in common with us.
Adoption.
Adoption, yeah.
But we both have great adoption stories. And I think you just forget that not everybody has a great adoption story.
Yeah.
And so to listen to her perspective and to hear how she continues to fight through with a positive attitude, I'm looking forward to being inspired.
Me too. Just getting the chance to talk to her earlier this week. She's just such a positive person, and to hear her story and just keep going with such positivity is really inspirational. Yeah. Well, let's go talk. Well, welcome, Racinda Janine.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much for
Welcome.
joining us.
Thank you, Ruthie.
Let's
love
just
it.
get that right off the
That's
bat.
a
cute
Ruth or
name.
Ruthie.
Can't help
You
it.
can
Yeah.
call me whatever you would like.
Ruthie is good. Okay.
That's funny. Ruthie's friends sometimes too will say that in joking, like Ruth E. when I'm around.
You almost need two
Yeah.
E's really at the end.
Ooh, that's good. Yes.
So, Racinda, you are an artist, a writer, a TikTok creator, and I'm looking around your room and I'm wondering, is that some of your art hanging on the walls?
Yeah, some of it, not all of it.
Okay.
They're on all the walls. Yes.
Got it.
Nice and colorful.
Well, appreciate you joining us. You have a story of adoption, and it's, something that connects all three of us, a story that
Yes.
Correct.
can be quite different depending on who you're talking to, and not all adoption stories have happy endings. And yours, I'm anxious to hear more about it, and I know you're going to talk about it a little bit, but
It's a story of hope.
it truly
Yes,
is.
It doesn't have that happy ending,
No happy ending there,
Mhm.
except I'm here now.
but hope.
Absolutely. Yep.
Yeah, and your story too. You've worked through the trauma, and here you are in such a positive light, and one of our mom's greatest friends.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Yeah.
She's close to my heart.
She speaks so highly of you, Racinda.
You caught her in very good moods, as she says. Yeah.
Oh, well.
A shout out to Mom. Hey, Melinda.
Mom.
Hey, Mom.
Hey, Mom.
Linda.
Can you tell us? So I am interested more about, as an artist and a writer and a TikTok creator. Like, what do you focus on mostly? What does your art entail?
My art is just free form. I do art for therapy reasons. I'm not trying to get
Okay.
anywhere, do anything with the art. When I write, I am doing something. I want to tell a story, a meaningful story that's very readable. With TikTok, I do that to help people because
Okay.
I have a large psychological bent because of everything that's happened to me, and it's a fascinating world. And
Okay.
most people that do read cards for other people, they don't get into the psychology of it. Most of the people that call in, they're distressed. They want more than just answers. So each thing does provide a different thing for me. Yeah.
Okay. So people reach out to you for support, for help, for readings, for
Yes,
some kind of
absolutely.
interpretation of how to move through the grief or whatever.
Well, I do tarot cards. That's a distinct type of thing. I've always been intuitive since I can remember. So that intuition kind of moved into tarot reading and sort of really being able to read people. So now I can having sort of pushed aside a lot of the trauma,
Hmm.
I can now help other people see it more clearly
Well,
through
that's
tarot
great.
cards.
I mean,
Interesting.
just here's your opportunity for a plug, some advertising for you. How do people reach out to you? And
I'm on TikTok nightly, 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. It's Tarot 53, TAROT 53. And I don't work on Monday night, but yeah, that's where I'm at.
that's
Mhm.
great.
Come on down.
Come
There you
on
go.
and meet Racinda.
People don't know me by Racinda on there. They know me by Reese, which is my nickname.
Reese.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, thank you. There's a good plug for your
Thank you.
business. Yeah. Well, you are a guest on part of our Courage series, focusing on fear in this episode in general,
Okay.
um, which you've clearly, it looks like, overcome your fear and are living a good life, a good positive life, and bringing that positivity to others. So I'm hoping, Ruthie, you could read the learned wisdom for us.
I
Yay.
would love to. I would love to. When your worst fear stares you in the face, don't turn away. If you can find the courage to look it in the eye, you've accepted God's great gift of strength.
I love that.
And when you hear this learned wisdom, Racinda, share with us your story and what courage means to you.
My story is a little wonky because there are a lot of facts missing. So when I say things, they're not always facts. I'm saying them as I have been approached as to what happened. Um, my first memory is an orphanage, and it was in Beirut, Lebanon. And I am Lebanese. I was there for quite a few years. It was a very not good place. I was malnourished. They didn't have a lot of money. We had nuns there. One of them was rather mean to me. The others were kind, but it was mainly a place where people came to adopt babies. For some reason, I believe I must have come there a little older than a baby because I was there a long time. So I think I came in past baby age. Um, so I never thought I would be adopted, even though it was always promoted. And so one day a man, an American man, military, came. They put a Saudi Arabia child next to me, literally, just put us next to each other. And he adopted us that day. So I don't know what happened. We've never talked about it. The family never talked about it. They erased my adoption. They erased my identity as a Lebanese person. They erased everything. So I can't answer any of those kinds of questions. We never talked about the adoption.
Hmm.
So it was a long day we took a cab, my first time out of the orphanage. So everything was a little overstimulation, and I still have PTSD, literally, from that one day. We left the orphanage, we took a cab, we took an airplane, we found a new home, and then I went to bed. It was too much. And that has been sort of the worst trauma that still affects me today. Other traumas I have dealt with much better. Anyway, yeah, so I met my mother there. We went to Izmir, Turkey. That's where he was stationed at the time. So we stayed there. I met my sister, and she was a natural daughter. They couldn't have any more kids, but we were never told why we were adopted. And so we were in Izmir for 2.5 years. I never went to school. And the language that I spoke in Lebanon was French, but I knew very little French because they did not encourage us to talk. We had to be quiet all the time, suppressed us all the time. So I think that's where my nervous energy came from. Could never let it out. But So maybe a few words of French, and then these people spoke English. So I didn't speak or read for quite a while. And I eventually had to teach myself to read because we went to school once we moved to the United States. He was stationed in Washington, D.C., in San Bernardino, California. We went to Idaho. Um, in California a lot, though, once or twice. And then we ended up in Anchorage, Alaska. Now, the family was very abusive. Uh, my dad did kind of everything with me, sexually and otherwise, and I was treated like a servant. And they called me Cinderella, and I was a servant. I did the ironing, I did the dishes, I cleaned the house. Not very well, not very well. I did a terrible job, but I did it. My brother did the same thing. My sister was 3 years older than me, and she bossed us around a lot. Didn't get much, well, I didn't get any love from my mother at all. She was not interested in me whatsoever. So the avoidant behavior really was painful. It's painful. But I knew, because I have intuition, born with it, given as a gift. I knew that I needed to stay there in order to learn how to be in the world. And so I never ran away because that didn't make sense to me. So I was a very practical person. And then we ended up in Anchorage, Alaska. And yeah, I met a man and I married him. And it's what's called nowadays love bombing. He was a narcissist. My mother was a narcissist. My father was a narcissist. And I mean, in the psychological DSM-5 book, like they met all the requirements. Not just people do throw that word around now very randomly. They were literally narcissists because we do tend to find a pattern and we stick to that pattern because we don't know we're in a pattern. So I was married for a short time, was working. I started working when I was 16 because they didn't pay for any of my high school stuff or anything like that. And I did very poorly in school. I just never learned the language. The one good thing was I really loved to read, and I started to write when I was younger. Had list and list of just words that I needed to look up in the dictionary. And once I learned how to use a dictionary, I would just forage through it and find the words. That got me very excited. And so that's kind of it in a nutshell. Became an adult, was only married for a couple years and never remarried, never had kids because I didn't feel mentally stable enough to have a child. And I'm very glad for that because I was not mentally stable. I was worse than I thought. In 1985, there was a big explosion of anxiety and depression, and that spiraled me. That's where everything that had happened to me came out and caused me a lot of grief. I had a couple psychological hospital stays. It just went downhill, because I was just hanging on. So I've been working through that. That's what I do. I work through that year after year after year. So I didn't realize I had played down everything that had happened to me, which was very negative, because I'm a very hopeful person. I always think there's going to be better. Even if it's not shown immediately to me, there's just something in me that says, no, it's going to be okay. It's going to be better. Of course, when I was at my lowest, no, I didn't necessarily think that, but yeah, I get back up. So thanks to a lot of therapy, thanks to my hopefulness, here I am. And I did survive a lot of stuff.
How do you stay so hopeful and have this big,
Yeah.
giant smile and such a positive attitude, Racinda, after all that you've been through?
I think like it's a character thing with me. It's like somebody lies a lot. I'm hopeful a lot. It's just a character thing built in me. I think I was gifted that when I was born because fate had this lined up for me. And it was kind of like, okay, you better hold on if you want to survive. It's been tough. I'm not saying that the hope is always lit up,
Mm-hmm.
but It's something I can't, give credence to for myself. It's just there. I don't know the answer to that other than I don't like negativity. That's the other thing.
It's exhausting.
Yeah, you do more, with negativity. It's just really tiring. It doesn't pay off, nothing. Whereas hope and moving forward with other people that have showed me love, I didn't accept it for quite a long time
Hmm.
because I was never loved. But I can kind of do it now, but I still question it. I think the people I've met along the way have certainly helped me. No, I just grab onto it in a good
Mhm.
boundary way,
Mhm.
I don't overdo it. It's good to just really take advantage when something good happens. I don't care how small it is, take advantage of it and say,
Mhm.
oh, this is big,
Hmm.
and make it bigger than it is or whatever it is. I also do that a lot.
So it sounds like since 1985 was when you had your like apex of trouble, just kind of
Horrible.
open up. So through those seasons of change and kind of the adaptation, where did you begin to see the courage and the hope show up in your life, even if it was a small way?
I can tell you frankly, I never saw it as courage. I never thought I was courageous because in the anxiety and the depression and in the moments of trauma, I always froze. I never felt like I was courageous. But through many years of therapy and some good therapists, I've learned that maybe I am kind of courageous, basically to keep going. A lot of people give up on it. And so I don't think I can sort of say, yeah, I must be somewhat courageous, but I don't see it in the moment at all.
Hmm.
How did you not let it define who you are today?
I did let it define me for quite a many years.
Hmm.
Before 1985, I was living in a dreamscape. I thought everything's good. After 1985, when reality hit, it really defined me. That's all I
Mm,
was.
mm,
I felt like I was lying before to get through life. It defined me for many years. I mean, the way you see me today is certainly not the way I
mm,
always have been. This has taken some work. So it's just, um, I can't say that I haven't done that. I just don't do it
mhm.
anymore.
Hmm.
Do you have a relationship with God?
I don't have a relationship with God. I have a relationship with I have a sense of somebody that does help me. I feel like it's more of like an angel that has gotten me through this. I do know somebody has helped me get through this that is an entity that I cannot perceive. I feel them. I have a internal candle, and when the flame goes full, then I feel them with me. That may be God. I just haven't defined it as that. But I do know there's some other thing that helps me, that is with
Mhm,
me ultimately.
mm.
What is the feeling? How do you know when the flame is full? You said, like, how does that manifest in your body or your mind?
Um, I get tingly in the head, which is what I do when I read tarot cards, when I know I'm accurate, which is most of the time actually, but I get a tingling in my head, and then in my heart, I picture the candle. And I realize the tingling is waking me up and saying, "You're having a really good moment here. Things are going pretty well." And then I start to open up, and the flame just warms me up. It warms my heart, quite literally, because
Hmm.
I'm a visualist. Um, it warms me up. I feel secure. I feel warm, and I feel like I can be loving and open, which has not always been the case.
So it helps you just kind of move forward more positively, is what I'm
Yeah,
hearing.
it's like Fahrenheit. If the flame is too low, it's a little cold. I'm being a little harsh on myself. I'm being a little harsh about life. Um, the flame literally, figuratively, and otherwise warms me up. And so when the flame is going down, when I'm starting to get down a little, I can feel my heart is sinking a little bit. And then I visualize the candle and I sort of manifest it lighting back up because I really want it to light back up. It's just my way of sort of meditating without meditating
Mhm.
because I have too much anxiety to actually meditate. But it's
I
just a
understand
little
that.
trick I've used
Yeah.
throughout the years. But I think that's my angel. That's my
Hmm.
security.
So what encouragement would you give someone maybe has the same fear or who's afraid that still wants to move forward? Like what kind of encouragement would you give them?
Oh, I so many things here. One is when you have a lot of trauma, people are defining who you are. You're a loser. You're not loved. You're worthless. We you cannot let other people define you. Number one, you cannot let other people define you. And I think this is important for anybody who exists with or without trauma. You have to become yourself. You have to be, if you have to learn it, you usually have to learn how to use it, that skill of being yourself. Get whatever education you can, get whatever therapy you can, call a friend who will always support you. But that is just a mirage. All that stuff that was put onto me, that is nowhere near who I am. And people are
Mhm.
not given a chance to blossom. Go learn about yourself. Don't, you don't have to hang on to a lot of other stuff. You're the most important thing in order to get through life. And you don't have to be too egotistical to do that. Because I always used to think, wow, what an ego I have that I want to feel better about myself, that I want to do things. But that was a learned thing from the parents, from the orphanage.
Mm.
You're worthless. That's not who I am. And so learn who you are. That's my main thing about getting out of things. When you learn who you are, oh, you're going to survive so much better. You're going to have
Mhm.
yourself and God or whomever else, is sitting on your shoulder. And that's who you want. You don't want this other stuff. You have to get rid of that. Got to get rid of it.
So, on that note, before you go on to the next shared learned wisdom that you hopefully are going to give us some great takeaways as you're already doing,
Thank you.
was there a point, Racinda, when you went from survival mode to I have learned who I am and my past and my trauma is not going to define me? Was there a moment where it clicked for you or looking back?
Um, No, I think a lot of people look for that one moment. They look for that happy ending. They look for that thing to get them going. It's a process, and that's the
Mhm.
reality. Especially when you're talking about mental illness, anything with the psychology of your brain, that's a big area that is not easy to manipulate. And
Uh-huh.
so I think I wouldn't say I woke up at any point and said, wow. It's just, you kind of wake up and like you've been on a diet for a while and you look in the mirror and you go, wow. But it's been the process that got you there. But you didn't have that overwhelming aha moment. I never really
Mhm.
had an aha moment in that sense.
Mhm.
It was very gradual, very good therapist.
Mm,
Hmm.
great. Are you
Yeah.
still going through therapy today?
Absolutely. I don't think I'll ever not be in therapy because I have a lot of PTSD. My diagnosis is clinical depression, which I'm not in right now, PTSD, and anxiety. And
Mhm.
those three things don't go away. You learn to live with it. Yeah.
It's interesting too, like depression and anxiety are the farthest from each other at times, but when they come together,
Mm,
it's not a
tornado.
good thing.
I
Yeah.
mean, I don't think logistically they do come together because they're the flip side. I learned this through stuff. They're the flip side of each other because you'll feel more depressed one day than anxious. You'll feel more anxious one day than depressed. Uh, they are in the same house, and they rule your life. But one is more strong than the other at any given moment. Most
Mhm.
people say, I'm anxious. Oh, I'm depressed. They won't say I'm anxious and depressed, but
Hmm.
they are from the same source. They're from this, it's just what the body is doing at the moment.
I remember when I went to see someone, I went to the doctor. I was, going through some stuff, um, and they ask you a series of questions to
Yeah.
determine if if they put
Yeah.
you on medication, are they giving you anxiety medication or depression medication? And so you go through the questions, and then they're like, "Well, Tim, you're anxious. You've got anxiety." It's like, wow, just from those questions you determine that. I just found that to be odd.
I think there's a lot of it's kind of a list. There's a lot of anxiety symptoms. There's a lot of depression symptoms. They look different, but Tim, if you're ever going to have anxiety, you're going to have depression.
Hmm.
They're just it's like a twin that lives inside you. Um, and when I was first given meds, and I can tell you, I resisted that for years. I suffered for years without meds. Um, they said it was for my depression. And in fact, it was for my depression because the anxiety was still kind of there. So
Mhm,
they are both treated, they're treated like it's the same thing, but they're not the same thing
Hmm.
physiologically.
Yeah.
Mentally, they kind of are.
what I love listening to you, Racinda, is that you really don't play the victim card.
Yeah, I
You're
don't.
sharing your story openly, and you acknowledge that you have PTSD and you will always be challenged with that.
Yeah.
But you're so positive, and that's what our mom says about you as well. And what about somebody who's sitting there right now and using that poor me card? What's something you could share that maybe could help them?
Well, I think the pity party is a necessary part of getting better. You have to be, nobody else is being sad about you. Nobody else is pitying
Hmm.
you. Nobody else is saying, man, you are a victim. They're all saying, get over it. So dwell in it. Do not stay in it.
Mhm,
Dwell for the moment. Don't stay. Just visit. If you have to visit, that's fine. Because really, that's part of the process. There's no one linear thing that you can do to get well. And so if you pity yourself right now, hopefully somebody can hug you. Hopefully somebody can help you because you can get out of it pretty quickly. It doesn't take a lot. So I would hope that you have a friend that can give you a hug. If you don't like to be hugged, I did not like to be touched for years. Call somebody, call the hotlines. There's a lot of them now, and reach out. But it's okay to be in it. Just don't pay rent or anything.
mhm.
Just don't.
You said something that I love, and I starred it on my notes, and I want to. I'm hoping that you can talk a little bit more about it. I am as important as anyone else.
That's taken a lot of years.
That's huge. I mean, for
Mhm.
me to even stop and be like, "Oh my god, that's great." When did you have this epiphany?
Um, I, I don't think I had an epiphany because I don't have those, but some people do. They're fortunate. Um, but I realized the more I was angry at myself, the more I disliked myself, the more I harmed myself. And then the hope would come up and I would say, why are you doing that? Everybody's done that to you. Make yourself feel good about yourself. Do don't do what they did. You want to get away from that. And so in that process of saying, please like yourself, please, I realized through therapy, I have to give credence to all the people that I saw, all the doctors I've seen. Um, if you can't function, if you're not important to yourself, why else would anybody else think the same of you?
Mm,
They're going to take you for how you appear. If I appear like a sad sack or a victim, well, they don't want to be near you.
Mhm.
If
mhm,
I'm down one day, a lot of people can't handle that. Well, don't hang out with them. But it's important that you read yourself, that you do not, do not accept the behavior others have done to you. Then you realize you're important. They made you unimportant, but they were so wrong. Everybody's important. Everybody's important. We're
mm,
here. Every animal, everything is important because it does exist. If you exist, you're important. We're all here together and I want to feel when I say important, it's a big reach from the low that I had self-esteem of me. But I do believe it now. I'm important in some way. I'm important to myself first because I want to
Mm,
take care of myself now. That's the difference.
mm.
Yeah, that's
That's very encouraging.
that's great. How
Very
did
encouraging.
once you started to realize this, it sounds like you started to show up differently,
Yes.
and you had mentioned something that I actually recognize as when you act a certain way. If you're like sad all the time, people are probably not going to want to hang out, and you use the word
Bye-bye.
sad sack, which I love.
Mhm.
Yep.
Um, Once you started to maybe change the way you showed up, what did that do for your friendships?
Well, I met people who had a good mood once in a while. And, that rubs off on you. You want to attach yourself to goodness. And I'm not going to be 100% in a good mood all the time. No, it's not like that. That's not reality. But
And Tim is. Tim is always in a good mood.
That's BS.
not the stories I've heard, Tim. No, I'm just,
Yeah.
not
No, that's true.
just kidding. Really, literally. When you're a victim, you meet people who will victimize you. When you're strong, you meet people who appreciate your strength. And so you start to realize, oh wow, I'm not attracting that nice candle flame. That flame is sort of down. I want it to rise because that makes me feel good. I want my angel to be with me. So you kind of start to, if you really start to feel yourself, you'll connect with other people. And so that's what it's about, is connecting.
When you go about, this is really random, but I was thinking about this because you're such a positive person, is when you're out and about and someone says, "Oh, how's your day going?" What about if your day's really crappy? What do
Yeah,
you say?
I say, it's not my best day. I don't say it's crappy. I say, actually, I
Well,
don't. But no, I'm
well,
an option. But
but I mean, we're just so used to saying, "Oh, I'm okay. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good."
oh no, I say more than that. I say it's been a great day. I say I'm so happy because the cat did this. So I say something that will give them an idea of why are you in that mood.
Oh, I love that.
So
So
if you
don't
say,
just say, "Okay, it's a good day." Well, why is it a good day?
yeah, my
Oh, that's
bank
great.
didn't ruin me. Just say your very quick sentence of, and then it engages other people.
I
And it makes
love
them
that,
think
Racinda.
too, yeah.
Gosh, my husband's gonna be going, "Ruth, they don't care." So I'll save that for when I'm by myself.
Yeah, no, just, express yourself. We have to express ourselves to bring it out in other people. We can't
I
expect other people
agreed.
to be expressive when you're not giving them that to work with. People project themselves onto you. They're waiting for your reaction, most people.
Mm,
And so be as honest as you can without hurting their feelings. I'm not into hurting feelings particularly, but there's always a way out of every situation that way.
mhm,
If you're honestly just not doing well, don't ask right now. Let's talk later. You know,
mhm.
let me get through this. There's a way to engage them so they don't feel left out. You don't want people to feel left out either.
I definitely, can, say that I have experienced that when I've been at the checkout line at the grocery store and
Hmm.
somebody asks me how my day is. I respond with, "It's been better. It's okay." I try to be as honest as I can, but when I say, "How about yours?" and they say, "Oh, it's a good day." Well, why is it a good day? And
Hmm.
you see them spark up
Oh, yeah.
like, "What?
Yeah.
You care about how
Yes,
I'm feeling?" And I
absolutely.
love that. So it's such a great reminder. Thank you so
Yeah. It's
much.
important to everybody to be noticed no matter who they are.
Mhm.
You see a lot of people, speaking of grocery lines, you know, they'll just stand and talk and talk and talk to the cashier. You immediately know they're alone. You immediately know, they just have so much to say. You immediately know they're very cognizant of the fact that they're taking the time, but they're so needy. You can get pissed off like most people and say, get the hell out of my way if you want. Or you can say, oh, let me get in another line. This might take another 10 minutes, but I think you really have to really read other people and say, gosh, they're having they really need somebody.
Hmm.
And so you really have
I do get into long conversations and I
Goodness.
Ruthie's like, yeah, 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 yeah.
but yeah, I guess I'll have to look around to make sure there's nobody
Yeah,
that I'm
I'm
holding the
usually in that
line up.
line. Yeah, I get a
Yeah.
lot of those because I'm pretty patient about it. I'm
That's
just like,
good.
oh, okay. Yeah.
That's funny. I notice mom when we're out, she's like looking for someone to talk to.
She
She's
always
like,
has to talk. She always has
who's
to
gonna make
connect.
eye contact?
I mean,
Yeah.
she's the epitome of what the world needs now. Everybody to,
Hmm.
to come
Mm,
together. I mean, she really epitomizes that, and
yes, she
in a
does.
good way,
Yeah,
It's
there's gonna be some
natural
kind of
to her.
laughter happening in that
Yes.
conversation, whoever
Yes.
she catches.
She taught me a great lesson when I first met her. We weren't quite that good of friends then. Um, I was annoyed that she did that. You know why? Because I was insecure about meeting strangers. I was not trustful.
Hmm.
Oh.
She taught me a good lesson with that. She came out smiling. Most of the people were nice.
Hmm.
And I learned some very valuable lesson through her. I do want to thank her for that. Yeah.
It's funny. It's
Uh,
like those commercials. I don't know. You've seen the insurance commercials where the guy's coaching people. He's like, they don't need to know what you had for
oh,
Oh,
yes,
breakfast,
you
or
yes.
don't need to
they
do
don't need
that.
to
Yeah.
know. And I would
Yeah.
always do the same thing. But to your point, Racinda, like she can draw out the best in people, and
Yes.
it draws such a connection too. I notice when I go out of my way and someone says, "How's your day going?" It's like, "Oh, the sun is shining, beautiful day out. Looking forward to whatever the rest brings." And they stop and
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
you build a connection with people that you otherwise could have just gone about your day without
Absolutely. And
saying
it just
anything.
makes a big difference in their life. And, it's not a lot of time spent. You don't know what's going on with them. They're probably
Hmm.
miserable. They don't want to go shopping. And that's something I've had to learn because I don't trust people in general. Of course I don't. But now I'm getting there. And, your mom
Mhm.
really taught me that you
No.
you can open yourself up and it can be quick, and it helps the other person.
How do you let go? What is your letting go process of pain and, like you said, not trusting? What do you do to trust again? How do you help yourself with that?
Well, I mean, you meet people like your mother, and you watch and you observe. I'm a very curious person, so I watch and observe everybody. A lot of people don't care. You do have to care about life in order to get through any of this, by the way. Okay. There's no courage without wanting to learn, wanting
Mhm.
to advance. Um, but I think just learning and being there and being present and knowing that you're in a moment that's not the same as the last moment or the one that your PTSD is knocking on your head about. So being in the present moment, that's one thing people with trauma, they're never in the moment. They're always trying to escape. And so you learn how to do that all the time. And so you're not embracing the moment. And so being in the moment is what helps because then you can say, wait, is anything bad happening here?
Mhm.
Assess the situation, which I didn't do that before. And meeting people like your mom who just is free, like
Yeah.
that. You don't, as far as I know, she hasn't been harmed by it. You know what I'm saying? So when you don't see harm happen in the moment, that's very helpful.
Yeah.
That repeated thing.
I know that your adoption story did not have a happy ending at all. But do you see the positive impact? Do you recognize that within yourself? Do you accept that you're making a difference with hope and encouragement to others walking through a very dark journey?
I I wish I could do it on a larger scale. It's taken me so many years to heal. Um, so in that sense, I do wish it was more. I wish I could do more. But I do see it while I'm doing the tarot cards. Absolutely. They're very thankful. I kind of open their eyes. This is the first time for a lot of these people to have trauma and even to acknowledge trauma.
Mhm.
Because when you're growing up with trauma, people are busy telling you to bugger off, you don't know what you're talking about. And so they get denied a lot.
Huh.
So I am in the moment how, feeling like I
Mhm.
am. I just wish it was on a broader scale.
Mm.
And that's
Mm.
I wrote a book about myself. A lot of people have done that, but it is my hope that that gets out to schools or something like that, where you're not looking for that happy ending. You're looking for the process.
Mm.
You can accept life easier when you don't have that everything's wonderful, picket fence, this and that. I went the opposite of all of that. Um,
Mhm.
and so I wish I could do more.
What's
Mm.
the title of the book?
Food caught in my words. I wrote another book too. That was more for fun.
What are the other
Writing
books?
books for fun. Yeah.
Yeah, writing books are fun. The other book is called Introductions.
Okay.
I don't have an agent, so nothing's out there.
Mm.
But there they are. I keep having setbacks as to looking for an agent. I have a lot of setbacks in my life, even now. Um, but I've accepted this is my life. This is the process. And
Mhm.
I'll do what I can while I'm here.
Well,
Mm.
just having this conversation, even if you continue to have setbacks, I can tell you're not someone that's just going to let that stop your progress.
Nope.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Mm.
I want to go back to a word that you used, um, is curiosity. And
Mhm.
you had brought this up before, but um, I I love using that with people that I coach, people that I
Mm.
mentor, people that I work with. Curiosity can get you through anything and
Yes.
keep you moving forward, keep your momentum going, keep your brain active.
Hmm.
Um, and I'm probably going to butcher this, but when you and I spoke earlier this week, you said something along the lines of people don't seem to be curious and they tend to be more miserable. And so you had mentioned curiosity earlier too. How do you utilize that?
Well, here's the thing. When I was adopted with this boy from Saudi Arabia, who I didn't know, we were 6 months apart. And he and I were the antithesis of each other. He did not come up curious. I came up curious. And you know what? I saw the problems he had because he wasn't curious. You know, he was a happy boy who was beat down and he lost hope. He lost everything that he had, if he had anything at the orphanage. But my curiosity, aligned with him. When you watch his progress and my progress, kind of zoomed past him because I was curious. I started to learn to read. I started to do this. I started to do that. And when you see that he wasn't curious and he fell into this bad world of non-curiosity, he couldn't get out of it. He victimized himself. And I never did victimize myself like that, but it's my curiosity of wanting to know more, of knowing there had to be more, whether it was in front of me or not, there had to be
Mhm.
more. So that curiosity has saved me.
Mhm.
Reading, after being abused, going and just cherishing my books, the words on printed, they were just my words. I was curious, what were the next words? There was a world that it was a fantasy world, but in fact, it really got me going.
Mhm.
And I see the difference because of my brother who never saw that. He never
Mhm.
engaged that way. And wow, I'm so fortunate to have gotten curiosity.
Yeah.
It's and it would save a lot of people. There would be a lot of, lack of there's a lot of ignorance right now. Um, Curiosity would save us all from that. If we were more curious about the other person, that would save us a lot of heartache and stuff. We would be
Mhm.
more caring. So curiosity is core to my being. Core.
I love it. I love it.
Mhm.
That's so spot on. Just
Yeah.
like you said, be curious about the other person. Why are they doing that?
Yeah.
Why am I interpreting it this way? Like, am I
Yes.
wrong? Maybe I'm wrong. Let me lead with empathy. Like
That's
there's a
right,
hundred
and lead
questions.
with empathy. People don't do that. And just asking questions, it, we get too much in our heads. That's an important place to be. Don't get me wrong. Um, but without the other person, the other people around us, I would have never. believed that I could do anything without the very few people that were thrown at me who encouraged me to write, who encouraged me to do this, who told me I was this, who told me the exact opposite of those people. Too many people shut down because they're not curious, who have been
Mhm.
abused. And it's
Yeah.
a hard trip to get out of. It's really difficult. You have to really want it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So you
Okay.
spoke about your brother and sort of his lack of curiosity.
Mhm.
I am curious because you talked a little bit when we spoke a few days ago about 23andMe, and
Yes.
that's like a family finder, right? A DNA
Yes.
test. Have you
DNA.
talk about your
Mhm.
experience with that?
Well, about 4 or 5 years ago, well, actually about 8 years ago, I submitted a sample because I didn't know I was Lebanese. I didn't know anything. And 3 years down the line, there was a nephew that came up 25%
Hmm.
positive to be
Mm.
me. Now, most relatives on 23andMe are like 1% and below. So 25% is a big hit.
Huge.
And so I wrote to him and I said, wow. Are you possibly my nephew? So in any case, I found out that his mother is my sister. But this was 4 years ago.
Wow.
And they said for some reason they didn't keep me in touch. He just dropped out. But then just yesterday, I had been
Yesterday.
writing, yeah,
Wow.
uh, two I had been writing maybe twice a year to my sister on 23andMe and saying, "Hi, just want to check in. Still interested if we could ever have, anything.
Mhm.
Don't have great expectations." Um, but I just wrote to her a week and a half ago, and then I heard from the nephew. My mother speaks Arabic only. My sister, my mother also. But I found out. Um, he didn't tell me exactly why they ignored me. I think that will come up later as we get to know each other. But I had a conversation with him, 50 minutes yesterday. And
Oh,
Wow.
I found
wow.
out so much stuff about myself. Didn't know I would ever connect with my real family. Found out I
Oh.
was born in another town, not Beirut, where I landed. He didn't know about me. I have a sister, two brothers, a nephew, a grandniece, a lot of
Oh,
other
my
nephews and nieces that
goodness.
I haven't met yet. Um, I'm pretty darn excited.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. I
Wow.
see your face is just glowing.
Yeah, because all my
Oh, I
family
got chills all over
I
right
did too.
now.
my entire family that I was attached to in America, they've all passed away. Uh, my husband even everybody's passed away. I don't have any
I
family.
was going to ask you about that, about your
Yeah,
brother who you got adopted with. Is he
he
still alive? Do you?
no, they all passed away. He
Wow.
passed away in his 60s, as did my natural sister, as did my adopted father.
Mhm.
They all passed away in their 60s. So here I am still alive. And of course,
Before he
Wow.
passed, did you stay connected to him at all?
it was very up and down. We were very close for the first year or so after the
Mhm.
adoption, but he felt like I wasn't helping him because he was getting beat quite a bit by my father,
Mm.
as
Oh.
was I.
Mhm.
And he thought I should maybe have helped him, and he turned away from me, and he started treating me
Mm.
badly as well.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Well, then we're gonna focus on the positive that you just found
Yes.
out yesterday. Let's
Yes.
not
Yeah.
think about
And
that.
Yeah.
he's so nice. He was so kind. He's going to send me photos. Um,
Oh,
my
wow.
my real mother just passed away. I have a feeling that they didn't connect with me because, well, they're protecting their mother.
Sure.
Because he said she would have never given me up. So I think something happened to me.
Oh, wow. You might
Because
get some answers
yeah,
soon.
but they don't know my
Wow.
history. They can't help
Mhm.
me with my birth date, anything like that. They just know where I was
Uh-huh.
born, which is helpful. I didn't know that. Thought I was born in Beirut
Yeah.
all this time.
Yeah.
So,
Where
Wow.
were
uh,
you born?
it it's a town called I don't know how it's pronounced. It's spelled Zahle. It's 30 miles east of Beirut, and he said
Okay.
none of their family ever went to Beirut. So somebody took me to Beirut,
Wow.
to that
Interesting.
orphanage.
Wow.
Wow.
So I'm going to be talking to my older brother pretty soon. He's excited to talk with me. He's going to use one of
Wow.
his sons to interpret because they are all in Lebanon,
Uh-huh.
except for my nephew. He's in America.
And will you do this over
Wow.
the phone, or are you gonna do it, like, over Zoom?
Well, I think the phone call yesterday was just over the phone. I think I would have
Uh-huh.
been way too nervous.
Uh-huh.
But we'll do FaceTime next time. To meet my sister, we'll do FaceTime. To meet my brother, we'll do FaceTime.
That's
And he did
wonderful.
say, "Wow, you look like your brothers and sisters."
Wow.
Oh, how does that make you
Man.
feel?
I'm more excited than I thought I would be. I mean, I'm in my 70s, and it's like, I can't believe it. I just can't
Yeah.
believe I have a
Wow.
connection. Yeah, it's just bizarre. I can't really travel, so it's not like I'm gonna jump over to
Mm.
Lebanon.
Yeah.
But just FaceTiming and keeping up with the family is just
So
it's a great
wonderful.
gift. It's a great gift.
Wow.
And I know you said earlier that you still struggle from PTSD,
I
but
do.
Racinda, to be at such a healthy spot in your life and to have so much hope and now to meet family that you're connected to,
Yeah,
there's just going to be nothing but positive,
that's right.
Yeah.
soaring with positive from
Your
here
candle
on
is
I
out.
gonna need a new wick.
it
Yeah.
is, and it was keep me exhausted, but yeah, I'm not getting off of the positive train anytime soon.
No, don't get
It's
off of
good.
it. Racinda, as we are getting close to wrapping up,
Mhm.
is there anything that you feel like we didn't talk about that you still wanted to talk about, or any kind of hope and encouragement takeaway that you could share that you haven't already with somebody who maybe is feeling that they're a victim, that their world is dark,
Mm,
that they don't have a candle of hope flickering in their
yeah,
heart?
yeah.
Um, is there anything you could share?
Yes, I think reach out, reach out. Don't get too much in your brain, in your mind. Reach out. Reach out to a therapist, reach out to anybody who's been kind to you.
Mhm,
Reach out. The
mm,
moment where you're very far down, yeah, it's tough to get out of. But you know what? It's worth it.
mm,
Don't live your life being as miserable as others have made you. I know, like, in my deep depression, when somebody says, "Oh, get out of that," it's how it's said to you. Snap out of it. I hate that. Snap out of it. That's the worst thing anybody can tell somebody who's depressed. So look for gentleness and keep searching until it happens, because your life is worth living much better than what you were given,
mhm.
and you can control it.
What if somebody that you care about is in a dark stage and you know that,
Hmm.
you see that in them?
Yes.
Is there something, I hear you say be gentle.
Yes.
Um, is there something that somebody could learn from you to help somebody else?
I think, listening to people, that is an art. Listening to them. Don't be afraid of what they're going to say. If it triggers you, you're not ready to do that. But another person who's hurting doesn't need a lot. They don't need a lot in that moment. They don't need you to change their life. You don't need to go in there and rescue them. You don't need to do anything. You just need to be present and
Mhm,
already. The hormones are like calming down. There's something safe. There's a lot of messages that person is getting that you're not even aware of. You do not have to do somersaults. You don't have to do a lot. But listen to their tone, listen to what they're saying to you. And if you can encourage it, if it's out of your purview, don't say anything. Let them
mhm,
experience it.
mm.
So I think there's
That's
more
great.
power than people believe in just being and sitting with somebody
Mhm,
like that, because they're always rejected because people are fearful. You don't have to do a lot. Not really. And
Yeah.
mhm,
encourage people to look for God, look for an angel, look for some entity that's going to get you through something, because you do need to believe in something. So
mhm,
believing in something is should be encouraged as well. It does help you
mm.
get through things.
I know you said that you wouldn't say you have a relationship with God, but do
Right.
you have a favorite
That's-
scripture, a quote, a saying that you could share?
My favorite is, I guess it's called the Golden Rule. It's in scripture, it's in Buddhism, it's in every country in some form, but it's reciprocity. Give unto others, and then you're going to get good stuff back. To me, that's what I live by. Treat somebody else the way you want to be treated. If you want to meet somebody who's really depressed, you're gonna meet them if you're going to be depressed all the time. I'm not saying meet people who are only happy, but just do what you want done for yourself. Treat somebody else the way you want to be treated. That's in every book ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In some
Yeah.
format.
Yep.
That's what I live by.
What about a song? Anything that really gets you going, makes you dance, since you're happy?
Yeah.
We have a playlist.
We do
if-
have a playlist.
Okay.
If you
Well-
didn't know that already.
My favorite is an old one that I used to play clarinet. And when I first heard this, I just was blown away by it. And I've always loved it. It's George Gershwin's Rhapsody in Blue.
Oh,
It
yes.
doesn't matter what mood I'm in. It
Mm.
takes you through an entire life cycle.
Mm.
And it makes you sit and really listen to what life is about. I just love that piece of music. I love it. Vivaldi would have to be second, but that particular music really gets me.
What a great
Beautiful.
addition to our playlist.
Yeah, that's great, man. What a wide variety of songs we've got on there now.
And our love for giving as much attention to nonprofits as possible, since you probably know that, since my mom has probably shared a lot about Tim and I both to
Yes,
you, but
yes.
I used to run the Let It Be Foundation, and
Yes.
so I might have stopped that, but Tim and I love bringing light to as many nonprofits. So do you have anything you'd like to share with us?
My big thing is, besides being a victim, a human victim, I think the next level are animals. And I
Mm.
think helping them, local shelters, really help an animal. They're really more helpless than we are because we have domesticated a lot of them. They don't know what to do. They're not sure of their life. And I think the local shelters really need help. And
Mm.
animals is, if you want to go bigger, that's fine. But anything in the animal world, I say, yes, please.
Wonderful.
I love it. Speaking
Yeah.
my language, Racinda.
There you go.
Absolutely. Do you have any pets?
I do have a stray cats. One sort of comes in a lot, but yeah, I have four stray cats.
Awesome.
They live outside. That's why I said they're
Mhm.
not. Yeah, but I take they go to the vet and stuff.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Well done. Well done.
Well done.
Thank you for
You.
Yeah, thanks
making
for the
time,
time.
waking up early for us,
Mhm.
which I know is your favorite thing to do.
It's absolutely. I feel like I do know you kind of just because I watch the show, which is great. And
Thank you.
and of course, Melinda.
Oh yeah.
She talks a lot
Yeah.
about you guys.
Yeah.
She probably, you probably know a lot more about me than.
Yeah, I
There's
know.
a lot to unpack there.
I
That's
know a
why.
lot about Tim as well. Yeah.
Oh,
I
funny,
think it's-
funny brother.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Well, our mom knows how to pick good friends. So
Oh,
thank you
thank you.
for
That's
loving her
lovely.
and being such a good friend to her.
It's my pleasure.
And,
It's so great to meet you guys.
I hope you have a beautiful rest of the day.
I'm
I
going
see
to.
the sun through your window there, and
Your positivity. You guys are great. You guys have
Thank
a great
you.
show. You really are.
Well, thank you for
Thank you.
listening and being a part of it now.
yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks, Racinda.
Okay. Bye-bye.
I really enjoyed that conversation.
She is such a nice human.
Yeah. I mean,
Mhm.
I feel so much better about the friends that our mom has.
Wait,
I feel so good about,
wait, say that
oh boy.
again. Wait. Okay.
I feel so good about our mom hanging out with Racinda, just cruising
I
around
know.
Brookings or wherever they are.
She always talks so fondly of her. Now we know why.
hmm So
Yes.
what, I'm curious what you took away from it. What was the best thing that you took?
Well, there's a lot of things. So it's hard to say really what was the best thing, but because I wrote a lot down. For me, Tim, what was just so encouraging was her positive perspective on life
Yeah, she's positive.
when she just has had so much trauma. And
Mhm.
she does not play that victim card. And I
Not at all.
absolutely love it.
Yeah, she doesn't.
Yeah.
She's not a victim.
Just not, maybe I think that's it. Just the overall conversation of not playing the victim card
hmm
was very inspiring because too many people do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
What about for you, Tim?
I like the part of the conversation where we were talking about interactions that you have. We were talking about the grocery store, and I spend a lot of time in grocery stores, as you know. So,
Yeah, I bet you do.
but I really appreciated that because, to your point, she doesn't play the victim, and I think if I met her as a stranger in the store and just had that, 5-minute interaction of how's your day going? No, it's good. Things are going well, and here's why.
Yeah, I love that too. Yes, you're right.
Yeah. Oh, my cat did something silly and made me laugh. Like those interactions don't happen very often, but I know if I were to meet her as a stranger, I would walk away from that feeling positive, like just
Yes.
really great, and come home and be like, I never guessed who I met.
You paused for a second there, Tim. So honestly, I'm going to tell you when you said I would walk away from that, I'm thinking to myself, well, gosh, that wasn't very nice, Tim. But
This
you weren't
conversation is
finished.
over. Anyone that I've ever interacted with, I had a brief moment like that yesterday when I was leaving the gym, and there was this guy at a cane. He was slowly walking out, and he turned around and looked at me, and I just said, how did it go today? Did you have a good workout? And he's just like, oh man, it was so good. I've lost 45 pounds in the last 5 months. And it's like, that's a lot of weight in the last 5 months. And we started talking, and I was like, good for you, man. That's positive. I bet your knees and your ankles probably are thanking you. And he's like, yeah, it was just really positive. So to hear her talk about that, I took a lot from that because he would never know. I don't know what this guy's life was like. The stranger would never know what Racinda's life was like, but it was positive 5-minute.
Oh, she definitely fits the description. Courage.
Oh, absolutely.
As we wrap up our courage series, but it's not just our wrap up of our courage series, Tim. Do you know what we're doing next episode?
That's our season finale.
That's right. Racinda was our last guest of our first season.
Yeah, what a way to end the year.
Yeah. So as we prepare, letting her words really resonate in our hearts and our souls and our mind, is there something that you would like us to think about, Tim?
What fear are you facing right now? And how could courage help you move through it rather than away from it?
Until next time, goodbye, friends.
Thanks, everyone. We're so glad you're here. Did today's episode give you a little boost of hope and encouragement right when you needed it? If it did, we'd love it if you'd hit that like button, subscribe, and maybe even share it with someone who could use a little light today. For extra content and more from this podcast, make sure to follow us at Instagram at letitbe.podcast. And remember, there's still beauty unfolding in your story.